Hello and welcome to this week's Wednesday Reflection from Holy Saviour Church in Hitchin. Well, did you survive the storms? Last weekend, parts of central and southern England were hit by torrential rainstorms. In fact, I think something like a month's worth of rain fell in 24 hours. Hitchin was quite badly hit. The town centre saw many properties having to be pumped out by the fire brigade. I was actually driving through the centre late on Saturday afternoon, and at times vehicles were having to go at 5 or 10 miles an hour because there was so much water on the roads. Well, it reminded me of the colourful story of Noah and the Ark, which we learn about from the first book of the Bible, Genesis. I expect you remember the details. God was angry with what had happened to his creation. The descendants of Adam and Eve had fallen into evil ways and were no longer following God's commandments. God was angry and decided that he needed to reboot the earth. So he sent a flood, which lasted about 40 days, and it destroyed all living things upon earth, except, that is, for one man and his family, Noah. God decided that Noah was an upright and good man and followed God's commandments as much as he could, and so God decided that Noah and his family would be saved. So God told Noah to build a big boat, to go aboard with his family, and to take with him a male and female of every animal species, so that Noah and his descendants and these animals could repopulate the earth after the flood subsided. Well, it's a lovely story, a very colourful story. Is it all true in every detail? Perhaps. On the other hand, well, I just wonder whether perhaps the person who originally wrote down the story of Noah and the Ark was actually relying on an oral tradition of a huge flood which happened many years before and had killed a large number of people. Well, perhaps. I don't suppose we shall ever know the truth. But I think what is interesting from this story is that it points up the Old Testament view of God as a retributive God, a God who was quick to anger if he felt that his creation, his people, humankind, were stepping out of line and not obeying his will. And throughout the Old Testament, you get the feeling that people were afraid of God, that he was a remote God, quick to anger and slow to please. You can imagine what happened when Jesus came to earth and told the church leaders that they had got it wrong, that in fact God was a loving God, more like a father who wanted the very best for his children and wanted to see them follow his ways, and was grieved when they didn't do that. So I think what we can take away from this is that if we love God as Jesus has shown us how, like a father, then we will want to do his ways. We will want to please him, to do what he has told us to do through his Son, to love one another, to be kind to one another. And the music that I've chosen reflects this theme. It's a verse from St. John's Gospel set to music, and the words are, God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believe in him should not perish, but should have everlasting life. May the peace of God go with us all.